Good afternoon. We can do better than that, can't we? Good afternoon. First of all, I would like to ask the President to come back up for just a moment. I want to prove to my wife, Jane, that I got an honorary degree at Center.
There you go.
So we want to take a selfie. You didn't think I knew how to do that, did you? Well, I do know how, although I'm going to have to get my 11-year-old grandson to show me how to put it on Twitter so that I can get it out every place. I have a memory of my graduation. I honestly can't remember who the speaker was, and I can't really remember what he said. But I remember well how long he talked. My father gave me some good advice as a young man. He said, "Son, the best speech is a short speech." Now, fair warning, my father was a Baptist preacher. And I do not remember him one single time taking his own advice. But he also gave me some other advice. He said, "Don't do as I say." He said, "Do as I say and not as I do." And that's what I'm going to do today. I want to thank Center College very much for this honor bestowed upon me of an honorary degree. It means something very special to me, and I'll cherish it for the rest of my life. You know, Center College is a special place. It's a place where serious issues are discussed, and it's a place where leaders are groomed. We all know that here in Kentucky, and for the few visitors who may not, let me give you a very short snapshot of Center alumni. 2 U.S. vice presidents, a Chief Justice of the United States, an Associate Justice of the Supreme Court, 13 U.S. senators, 43 U.S. representatives, 11 governors, and that's just in the field of government. I have no doubt that this class will rise to meet those expectations. Okay, but then what? What's next? No doubt you're on your way to becoming leaders. But what kind of leaders are you going to be? What will be your motivation? How will you inspire? Will you be a uniter or a divider? Because let me tell you, this country doesn't need any more dividers. Too many people right now are guided by a rigid ideology that leaves no place for collaboration and favors rabid attacks over civil discourse. My friends, this country is being ripped apart right now by partisan rancor. We're polarized, we're paralyzed, and our families are suffering because of it. You, as our future leaders, must resist becoming just another voice in what has become an acrimonious national shouting match. You must resist lending your energy and your time to those who scream. Screaming does not foster unity or collaboration. It only makes people cover up their ears and turn away. So don't be a part of that. Be better than that. Be the generation that shuns the politics of division and intolerance. Be the generation that puts aside differences and learns to sit down and listen. A very important word, listen. Listen to each other. Fashion solutions from diverse suggestions. You know, my generation is leaving your generation an array of serious, fundamental challenges that have held this state back for generations. Now, we have made significant progress towards solving some of those problems, but Kentucky is not yet where it needs to be. What challenges am I talking about? Problems like an unhealthy population, a workforce that is not as educated, skilled, and trained as this marketplace demands, an economy needing further modernizing and diversifying, a lack of early childhood programs that allow still too many children to begin their school years with preventable health problems, undeveloped minds, no sense of curiosity or engagement in life around them. Too often, our children start out behind and they never catch up. I believe, and I know that you believe, that every child, whether he or she is born on a farm, in a mountain holler, in the inner city, or in an affluent suburb, every child has the potential for a life of promise and meaning. I want you to help my generation create that kind of Kentucky, because Kentucky's problems are now becoming your problems. So, the question is, how are you, the graduating class of 2014, going to make your community, your commonwealth, your country, and your world a better place? I urge you to set aside your cell phone apps and step outside your normal sphere of interaction and comfort and set a big agenda for your life. The world is more creative, more imaginative, more resourceful, and more exciting than it's ever been. And you, the people who are just getting out of college, are the ones who are doing those innovative things. You know, when I was their age, career paths were limited and pretty clearly defined. Teacher, lawyer, doctor, nurse, firefighter, electrician, secretary, welder, construction worker, accountant, and so on. You know, the world isn't that simple anymore. Today, the range of careers available to all of you has expanded exponentially to include many jobs that didn't even exist just a few years ago. And that range is growing by the day. I've heard it said that whereas my generation had to go out and look for a job, your generation just goes out and invents your own job. And you'll continue to reinvent yourselves over and over through the course of your lives. So do that. Invent an app, cure cancer, perfect alternative energy, head off climate change, develop a strategy for immigration, make Kentuckians healthy, eliminate poverty. Most of you here in Center College's class of 2014 have seen the world. You've studied there, you've lived there. For you, you may think the world is your limit. But you know something? We're trying to get to Mars by 2023. So the world isn't your limit, the universe is your limit. So go for it. Thank you.